Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, September 13th. The time is 2:51 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 20 degrees Celsius. And I am here north of the city of Toronto in the city of Vaughan. And this is Jane Street. And just to the north of me here is Highway 407, and just beyond that is the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. And there's a look at some of the condos that have sprung up in that area. And just on my right here is a rather interesting subway station. That is the Highway 407 station. And that is one of just two stations that are part of the TTC subway network that is located outside of the city of Toronto proper, the other one being the station in Vaughan, just to the north of here. Or I guess the other station in Vaughan that serves the Vaughan City Centre. And I've never actually been to this station before. So I thought for this one I'm going to head on over and explore around the station. I'll take a look around the bus bays and then head down to the subway platform. And that right there is part of an art feature called Sky Ellipse, designed by Toronto artist David Pearl. And despite being a very deep subway station, it has a fair bit of natural lighting, which is kind of cool. So this is currently south down the west side of Jane Street, and about 35 minutes walking to the south of here, you'll find yourself at the York University campus. That's also where Pioneer Village Station is. And then there's another station south of that in the heart of the York University station, or York University campus. And there goes a Brampton-bound bus. And at first glance, this doesn't really strike you as a location where you would build a subway station. There's a very large cemetery on the east side of Jane Street. There's really nothing to the south of it. Just a bunch of land like this. And just off to the west is Highway 400, and that's what you would take north up to Canada's Wonderland. And just to the north of here is Highway 407. In fact, there was a fair bit of controversy when this station was built, as it was believed that it would be underutilized, and that's very much the case, although there was a fair bit of people in there. And there's a good reason for that. And here it says, no pedestrian entry, cross other side, danger, illegal, enter through station, $500 fine for illegal entry. Yeah, why the heck is the sidewalk leading me that way? Oh well, I'm gonna play dumb and just continue along the sidewalk. I think what they want me to do is cross over to that side and then walk along the sidewalk there, even though the station is over here on the right. That doesn't really make much sense. I'll let this GO bus roll by. I don't think I'm in an unauthorized area until I head around the corner here. And there's a GO bus rolling out. So the first place I'll visit are the bus terminals here. There are 18 bus bays in total. I think 13 that serve GO buses, and another 5 that serves the York Region Transit. So clearly that sidewalk doesn't lead you anywhere you're supposed to be. I wouldn't be surprised if I was the only pedestrian to enter this station all day. It's certainly not very pedestrian friendly so far. Well, it's got this huge surface parking lot, and there's over 500 parking spots there. And this station opened in 2017, and it's part of a 6-station expansion that was built north of the then Downsview station. And it added about 8.5 kilometers of subway north of Downsview, which is now Shepherd West. Well, I guess this is where I'm to cross. And there really isn't any residential development in the area, which is kind of odd. There's a lot of big box and power centers, and a lot of warehouses and commercial development. I guess the idea was to build it alongside these highways, and people could park their cars here and hop into the city, although I think this is a pay lot operated by Green Pea, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there's a Green Pea machine. And typically suburbanites don't usually take transit that often unless it takes them downtown. It's perhaps worth noting that there is a planned transitway to run along the Highway 407, which is just to the north of here. Although that seems to be a pipe dream at this point. It's still in the very early planning stages. And we've got bicycle parking, not a whole lot of it. And it's not particularly secure. So the station has this split level design. We're going through the entrance here and down to the subway platform, and it'll be up to the bus bays. It's kind of in this neat boomerang shape. And one thing to look out for is, are there public washrooms here? I've never been up to the bus area. The TTC doesn't list it as having washrooms on their website, but typically wherever there's a GO bus terminal, there's washrooms. In fact, I think in the entire TTC system, only 8 subway stations out of 76 have public washrooms. That's a rather disgraceful figure. Although being a newer modern station, there is elevator access, so it's good to see that it's accessible. And this would lead down towards the Line 1 subway platform. It's on the Spadina side of Line 1. There are plans to extend the Yonge Street side up through Markham and Richmond Hill. So let's head up to the bus bays here. It used to be you could take a GO bus from York University, but I think in 2019 they shifted their buses, rather unfortunately, up to this station.
We're so pleased to see you back on transit this September. To ensure our customers have a pleasant, reliable TTC experience, we increased service system-wide with more trains on lines 1 and 2 and more buses and streetcar service below each load. For more information on our system-wide improvements, visit ttc.ca.
And the reason I say unfortunately is anyone attending York University via the GO system now has to pay a separate TTC fare just to take the GO bus south. 1 or 2 stops depending where you get off to the university. There's also the 5 York Region Transit buses from here, and again, fare is not integrated. So if you're transferring from the subway to a York Region bus, you have to pay an additional fare. Oh, and there's also Ontario Northland buses. I think there's bus service out to North Bay, as well as Sudbury, and these leave twice a day. And this is where you'd at least catch one of them. And I think I just saw a Wonderland sign. There you go, Highway 407 terminal to Canada's Wonderland. So this is where you'd take the bus up to the big amusement park. And just over there is where I started, so I walked south down Jane. And over this way, hey, there's a pedestrian. So if she is heading to York University, she could walk there in about 35 minutes to save $3.20. I'm not sure why they moved the GO buses up to here. Maybe it's just because it's closer to the highways, but it's certainly a greater expense for students. It's certainly got a nice wide open feel to it. Lots of natural light. And what do we have here? Public bathrooms. Maybe the TTC should at least update their site to indicate that there are connections to the GO bus terminal here. And here are the stairs I came up. So that would be one end of the boomerang. And this would be the main entrance. Well,
Hi, how are you? Do you have
good.
a question?
No,
Okay.
just exploring.
Oh, okay. What is that?
It's a DJI Pocket 2. That's the...
It's a phone thing?
No, it's a pocket camera.
Oh, okay.
That's the Sky Ellipse, right? Well, she took an interest in my camera, but fortunately didn't tell me to stop recording. I'm not sure what GO Transit's policy is. So this is a view to the north. And they've got this bus layover area here, in case any buses need to dock here for a while in between routes. And you can see a large IKEA. And this side looks to mirror the other side. And you do pay for the GO bus via Presto, the same as you would the TTC. And this board here is for GO buses. I don't see any York Region Transit info. But let's head down to the subway platform. And these stations are quite deep. I think they're all the new ones are over 500 feet plus down into the ground. So this is kind of confusing. It says York Region Transit and GO at the top of this sign. And this one says exit, but if you don't see this one and you're only looking there, you'll see another sign that says GO Transit and Viva, when really, rather than take this staircase up to the exit, you'd want to take this big one here. And they've got more Presto machines here. I'm gonna get my Presto card out. So again, there's no type of discounted fare if you're arriving via GO Transit or York Region Transit or the Ontario Northland. And here's where buskers would set up camp. Looks like one of the escalators is out of service on that side. Maybe I'll start at this end of the platform. And apparently that ticket booth up there has never been manned, but they did have a TTC employee out there for assistance. And in 2018, this was the 5th least busiest station in the TTC subway network. So right here we have a northbound train due heading up to Vaughan, the terminal station, in 5 minutes. And here rolls a southbound train in. Let's see how many people get off this train. I'm gonna guess nobody. Let's see.
Line 1, North Carriage. Please stand clear
I figured I couldn't imagine a scenario where anyone coming south from Vaughan would be getting off here to connect to a YRT or GO bus. I'm sure it's possible, but there's absolutely nothing in this area for pedestrians. Hence why it's one of the least busy subway stations. It seems to be well appointed with chairs, some emergency access button, and a lot of excellent natural sunlight. That is a rarity for being this deep in a subway station. One screen is an ad. The other tells you when the next train is due. So we are here, obviously. And to get here, I took a bus from Eglinton to Eglinton West, and then I took the subway up here. It's interesting that there's no central columns in the middle. Or some elevator banks, as well as for escalators. That's neat, and I think the train is rolling in. So I'm gonna record my ride north up to Vaughan City Centre. So let's get ready to jump on the train here.
Line 1, North Vaughan. Please stand clear of the doors. Next station is Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. Vaughan Metropolitan Centre Station. This is a terminal station.
I imagine those people we saw getting off this train were coming up from York University and probably transferring to GO buses. So what I'll do is I'll climb up out of the station at the next stop.
Arriving at Vaughan Metropolitan Centre. Vaughan Metropolitan Centre Station.
And we'll take a quick look around.
Line 1 for Vaughan.
So given that this is a terminal station, much like Finch, on the other side of line 1, they have these next train markers that tell you which side of the platform the next train will be departing from. And they do have bathrooms in the station. I did a video last year. I think I recorded a walkthrough here, as well as one around the Vaughan Metro Center. I think that was in May. And I think that will take me to a platform in the middle of Highway 7. This is a funky design. And there's a York Region, where I think it's also serves Brampton as well, bus terminal just to the north of here. Here's a look at Vaughan's desolate and struggling new downtown, although there are some towers popping up. And there is Highway 7. So that is all she wrote for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Touring around Highway 407 station and then hopping on a subway train and heading north up to the terminal station to here at Highway 7 in Millway. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I also have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. There's also a super thanks button appearing below these videos. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.